down the coronavirus task force, a move that comes as the virus continues to spread rampantly in parts of the country.
Because the president can't speak at the task force anymore without being heard. I mean, it's all because he's being hurt politically at this press conference. If he can't talk for hours, he doesn't want Dr. Fauci or Dr. Birx to talk and educate Americans.
And there's more bad news coming in places like New York City and Chicago. New hotspots are countering the progress. Also, New Orleans. We'll get to all of that in just a moment. But this virus is not getting better.
Yeah, though it's getting better in those hotspots. Unfortunately, it's getting worse across the country. And just think about it. If you want to know how erratic this president is, his thinking, how he's acting in a way that shows he's unmoored from reality. Think about the fact that, well, yes, of course, he's going around and he's not wearing a mask when everybody's supposed to be wearing masks. Mm-hmm. That's a small thing. But think about the fact that he sets out guidelines that the doctors help put together, and then he immediately tries to get people to break his own guidelines. And he's talking about stopping the coronavirus task force at a time when deaths go over 70,000. Think about this. We've just gone over 70,000 deaths in America, 70,000 deaths. You know, a week ago, we hadn't got to 60,000 deaths. 10,000 more people have died in 1 week. Mm-hmm. Again, in the past week, more people have died than died on 9/11, died in our Iraq war, died in the Afghanistan war over 19 years, all combined, just in the past 7 days. That's from 60,000 to 70,000. Think about before that. We got from 50,000 deaths to 60,000 deaths in 5 days. And the CDC writes the White House a draft a few days ago. They get it this weekend. Using Trump administration numbers. Using Trump administration numbers. They warned the president. They warned the White House. Where have we heard this before? The White House gets a warning. They warned the White House that the number of daily deaths are going to double between now and June the 1st. And the White House dismisses it, just like they dismissed the warning back in late January from White House officials that this could end up killing 500,000 Americans. And yet, what happened the next month? The president went out, he'd go to rallies, tell people it was a hoax. Well, let me just tell you, the president can talk to David Muir. He can try to blame the Democrats, but what he can't do, is excuse what he's done over the past several months when he should have known better. And what he's doing right now, I saw in the New York Daily News, conservative S.E. Cupp wrote that the president is not well. Reading from her piece, she said, if this were your child, you'd intervene as quickly as you could. And you would. Getting them the help they clearly needed. Likewise, if your friend were acting this way, you might suggest they go see a therapist to work through some of their anger issues. Absolutely. If this were your coworker, you'd probably, I think that's actually gracious, you would alert someone in human resources. And what if this were the president of the United States acting this erratically? Not only are these behaviors the norm for President Trump, but they seem to have worsened at the most precarious and critical time that our country's faced since World War II, as we face a global pandemic that's killed over 70,000 Americans. Less than 2 weeks after unimaginably suggesting infecting disinfectants might kill off the coronavirus. The past few days have seen Donald Trump spiral out of control. S.E. Cupp continues to write, he's proven himself utterly incapable of staying focused on the biggest crisis a president can face. What's he done instead?
Oof.
He spread unfounded conspiracy theories about the origins of the coronavirus, about former President Barack Obama, and about an MSNBC cable news host. Now, how much lower can you go than that if you're worried about me? What else has he done? S.E. Cupp says he's made statements that can only be described as delusional, like comparing himself to Abraham Lincoln, inventing a non-existent letter of apology from Joe Biden, and spewing non-science about his favorite drug. It's his obsession, hydroxychloroquine. Attacking two female reporters for doing their jobs, lamenting that they don't behave like Donna Reed, the actress synonymous with a gender role-abiding, kitchen-dwelling 1950s housewife that she played on television more than 60 years ago. He attacked another female cable news host, calling her a third-rate lapdog. And in the middle of the night, just a couple of days ago, at 12:45 a.m., he went on a 234-word rant on Twitter, complaining about an ad released by a Republican anti-Trump group whose leaders include George Conway, of course, husband of staffer Kellyanne, in which Donald Trump used words like deranged loser of a husband and moonface to describe him. Yes, Donald Trump talking about somebody else's weight. Isn't that ironic? Don't you think? As Alanis Morissette might ask. That's me, not S.E. Cupp. S.E. Cupp concludes by saying it's frightening commentary on the slow normalization of this completely abnormal behavior that we can greet the undeniable deterioration of the President of the United States with mere shrugs. And the only concerns from his inner circles seem not to be about the mental instability itself, but the political ramifications of it being exposed in daily press briefings. S.E. Cupp, New York Daily News.
She really did a good job with that, really crystallizing why this normalization of the president's behavior is now making people unsafe.
Well, and
really well done.
If somebody were doing this in real time, even not in a pandemic, if they were your child, if they were your parent, if they were your grandparent, if they were a CEO at your company, if they were a coworker, if they were a football coach for your children, if they were a baseball, you would be worried and you would take action. And yet the Republicans just sit quietly by. Now we're up to 70,000 deaths. The president's disbanding the coronavirus task force, and he's actually pressuring governors and business owners to actually not follow his own guidelines. And now he's freaking out about an ad that Republicans did, a Baptist, a Christian who's voted Republican his entire life, Ben Howe, who helped put this ad together with some people, a bunch of Republicans concerned about how Donald Trump is handling this pandemic, and this is what's freaking him out so much. Let's play this ad that's made the president of the United States get worse.